99% of you guys are not subscribed to my channel, so fix that and hit that sub button and enjoy the video. Welcome back everybody. As you can see, today we're doing a tier list of the current units that are in the game. I will try to make a perfect list. We're gonna go from meta, we're gonna go to sub-meta, we're gonna have some supports and buffs, and then we're gonna also have like mid and low tiers. So yeah, let's just get into it. Alright, so we got our tier list. We're gonna start off by placing all the non-needed units into lost cause, because there's a lot of things that we really don't need. So yeah, let's just place stuff that we genuinely don't care about. We're gonna put Zoro into support. Zoro in support is very good. So he is one of the best shield breakers in the game, if not the best, which I think he is the best. Rukia into support. We're gonna put her, I think, behind Zoro, because there is a better support unit than Rukia. We're gonna have Gray here, and in my opinion, I think Gray might be a little bit better than Rukia, because you can start off by placing him and he is instantly freezing. But Rukia on full upgrades, she has like a very good line attack and more range and everything. So they're kind of like good, but you don't need they're kind of similar, but you don't need to upgrade Gray. So that's why I think Gray is a little bit better. He costs less money, you know. Anyways, farm unit. Farm unit is something all of you need. I think it's just one of the best units to have. Everybody should be having a farm unit. All right, we're gonna start off by getting Uni. I think she literally goes into lost cause. She might be the best lost cause, you know. All right, Deidara. I'm gonna put him into mid tier. The reason I'm putting him into mid tier, because if you have All Star on him, he's genuinely not bad, and if he has the buff on the summer event, he can solo a path for sure easily. We got Mihawk. We're gonna put Mihawk into sub meta DPS. I wouldn't put him into meta DPS, and I wouldn't put him into mid tier. The reason I'm putting him into sub meta DPS because of his very big range, and if you put a range skill tree with him, he's gonna hit everybody in the 70 range. He's insanely good. Yeah, moving on, we got Gojo. Genuinely, I don't even know why is he so bad. I would put him into a lost cause. Genuinely don't think he should be taken. We're gonna move on to Aaron's, and we're gonna put him into support because of his very good shield breaking. But I think I'm gonna put him behind Zoro, because I really think Zoro is better because he's cheaper and he has better SPA than Aaron. So Zoro would be a little better, you know, shield breaker than Aaron. Anyways, moving on, we got Venus. Venus, she's like a mid tier. She wouldn't be in sub meta DPS. Sorry, she would be in sub meta DPS actually, because her last upgrade is not that bad. But before upgrade 5, she would be mid tier. We got Ulquiorra, and I genuinely think he is one of the best air units in the game. He does a lot, and if you got Bloodlust on him, he's so good. Moving on, we got Kinkai. I genuinely think he is the best buff unit currently that there is in this game. He buffs every unit on 40%. He buffs red units 50%, and he can buff everybody as well 75%. It's just insane in my opinion. All right, moving on, we got Sukuna. Genuinely, I think he's okay, and he could be in sub meta DPS, but I don't know. I really don't want to put him there, but I would put him into the lowest. Anyways, next we got Zero. We got him as a, you know, buff unit, and I think he's the worst buff unit, because there is really not enough purple units to be bringing him, and just Kinkai is overall a lot better. We got Slayer Mage, and Slayer Mage, she could be fine if you got All Star on her, but genuinely her SPA is just that big that she would be in sub meta DPS, but she's just genuinely not the one to go for, you know, in my opinion. Anyways, we got Ichigo now. Ichigo, I don't think he's meta DPS. I think he can go into sub meta DPS, but he's definitely better than the other ones here. Even though I think I might move Sukuna up a little bit, since he is not that bad. I think Slayer Mage is better than Venus. I think Venus could be the worst. Sukuna's bleed damage is genuinely not that bad, and he's a 3-place min unit. If you get All Star on him and max him out, max his skill tree out, genuinely his bleed damage can't put up, you know. All right, moving on, we got Irvin. Irvin is just, you know, a better version of Zero because there's more green units currently that could be used, you know, than purple units, and Zero just doesn't have a point. Or I wouldn't even call Irvin needing a point, only if there's like elemental buffs and you want to bring something, you know. Anyways, moving on, we got Blackbeard, and we're gonna place him behind farm unit because as a farm unit, I think he's the best unit currently in the game. Blackbeard is the best flow in the game, so we're gonna have to put him like, you know, in the top tier. Moving on, we got Super God Goku. Genuinely, I don't know, I haven't seen much of him, and nobody really uses him other than probably Infinite Mode. I wouldn't put him into sub-meta DPS or meta DPS. I would put him into mid-tier because he is genuinely just not used. Alright, moving on, we got Nocturnal. I'm gonna move it to below. We're gonna put Nocturnal into here. I'm gonna put Kujo into here. I'm gonna put Shark Ninja into here. I'm gonna put Silent Swordsman into here. I'm gonna put Mercury Guardian over here. I don't know about these units much, but what I've been told, the units are not good, especially summer event units. About these two, I have no idea. So this would be what my own experience tells me, you know. Alright, moving on, we got Naruto. Genuinely, I can't just put him into Lost Cause. He is just, you know, not that good. I mean, I don't know the order between them because they're all just very bad. But you know what? I think if I have mythic units in Lost Cause, I should just bring that Oreo into Lost Cause. It wouldn't make any sense having Oreo, but I think he's the best unit to have with you if you're like starting story. It's very good. Alright, moving on, we got Broly. Broly, I can't put him into meta DPS, right? Because of his damage stacking, but I will bring him into sub-meta DPS and I'll put it behind Sukuna. The reason is because he's only good in infinite mode. He doesn't stack anywhere else that well. He could be good in summer event in some scenarios, but I wouldn't say it's like that good. I would say Ulquiorra or Mihawk would be better. Sukuna would be better. I think they're just by far better than Broly by any means. Moving on, we got Sanjin Woo. Genuinely, I wouldn't put him sub-meta DPS. I wouldn't, if I would put him DPS, I would obviously put him sub-meta DPS, but I would put him into support because of his shield breaking. But if you would look at his sub-meta DPS, I think he would stay around behind Broly and behind Ichigo, I think. And I think in support he would stay behind Zoro, and I'm sorry, he would be staying behind Eren. So if here, I'll place him sub-meta DPS over here. Whitebeard, I think he's very underrated. If you have him on All-Star and you have him full AoE maxed out, he's genuinely hitting like 100k damage, full AoE. I would put him like, with All-Star, I would put him genuinely somewhere over here, right? But usually you don't, and nobody uses him, so I would just slide him into this lowest sub-meta DPS because nobody really uses him and shit like that, you know? And yeah, I would just move on towards Spade. Spade he's like okay, but he's genuinely not as good as the other air units that there currently are. So I would move him down, and I would move him below Ichigo, I would say. I think this is what Spade would look like in this sub-meta DPS. Alright, moving on, Zeke. We got him, obviously meta DPS. One of the best units in the game currently. He has insane buffs when his element is like above. He's so good for Trial 2. He's so good for Summer Event. He's so good for grinding story. He's so good for grinding challenge. He's so good for everything. He's a hybrid. He's just insanely good. And if you have All-Star, he's just absolutely broken in my opinion. Alright, moving on, we got Killua. Killua, I think 100% meta DPS. I don't think we need to talk about it. 35 max in range, full AoE, and All-Star Killua with speed skill tree is just murdering everybody in my opinion. Right, moving on, we got Alligator, and a lot of you would really put him, I think, sub-meta DPS, right? But I would genuinely slide him into meta DPS, and the reason behind it is because when you max upgrade him, he can do up to 30k DPS. I know his circle is very low, right? But he is like literally has so small SPA, which is like seconds per attack, right? And the DPS just builds up to what he can do like against the other units that currently are on the list. So I feel like he could be up there, right? But if I would bring him down to sub-meta DPS, I would bring him down right here. But in my opinion, I think he is over here in meta DPS, and I think he's the lowest meta DPS in the game currently. So yeah. Moving on, we got SDEF. SDEF, I think, best freeze in the game, best support unit in the game. Damage-wise, she is amazing. She's freezing, she's time-stopping, she's doing everything. But I am not gonna bring her over farm unit, because without farm unit you cannot do anything in this game. So she's gonna be behind farm unit. Anyways, moving on, we got Magma Marine, aka Akainu. Genuinely, I think he is the best unit in the game currently with his all-star buffs. You know, if you get all-star on Akainu, I don't think you are doing bad in any kind of game mode, because even if he has a less if the element is against him, he's still insanely OP. So his skill that applies magma pulse, it stacks with all-star, plus the magma pulse hit air units. It is like insanely good. It applies burn, it hits air ground units, his SPA is super low, his DPS is insane, so I would genuinely just slide him into meta DPS and the best DPS in the game. Alright, moving on, we got Kokushibo. I mean, genuinely, I see why you would put him the best unit in the game, but I will slide him behind Akainu, just my personal opinion. I feel like Akainu is just a lot better because of his availability to hit air units with his magma pools, and the fact that he can basically one-shot a boss with his magma pools. It is insane. Moving on, we got Crollo. Low-key, I think this is one of the worst unbound units like possible in this game, and I think he is, and I would put him into sub-meta DPS, and I would put it behind Mihawk and Ulquiorra. And the reasoning is because Ulquiorra and Mihawk, they have a constant DPS and they don't cost that much, while you kinda have to max out your spider bosses, aka Crollos, all of them. You have 4 Crollos. You're not gonna go all-star on him because he's not that good on all-star. And his ultimate doesn't hit bosses, so he's only good in infinite mode. He's not good anywhere else, in my opinion. So if you have all-star on him, hey, lucky you, I guess. You can bring him somewhere like summer event and stuff like that. But if you don't have him on all-star, then he's almost very useless. And yeah, I don't know. I would fix up maybe some things here. I would bring probably Whitebeard down to mid-tier, probably bring Venus down to mid-tier. I could see a world where, I don't know, some of the other stuff could be in the mid-tier. Something like this would look not that bad, and yeah, I think this would be it for the list, to be fair. I think this is one of the most correct lists I could right now like pull out for the game. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit that like and sub button, and yeah, see you in the next video.